off of something that could have possibly been a lie. And everybody says, oh, you go into porn because you're tainted or you're traumatized, and you want to fight for the reality that you're doing it because you want to do it, not because you were traumatized or not because of something that happened, and because you wanted to do it, right? And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, in the midst of the pandemic, all these things come flooding back. And I'm like, I don't even want to have sex. I don't want to share my body with anybody anymore. You know, like I went through all these things. And then I was like, oh, fuck. What if my entire life, everything I've built on in my entire life was a lie because I was just coping with something that I couldn't get past? And I had to come to that whole conclusion. Freak the fuck out, literally freak out. I went through anger, which I never go through anger. I punched fucking walls. I went through drinking a lot. I drank so much. You could see my streams. I think if you look at my streams from that time, or you can know those times when I was suffering because I was drinking a lot, to where I am now. So it's crazy. But I'm sure that everyone has something like that happen, or an identity crisis, or, you know, because mine is like a wrapped up traumatic identity crisis, if that makes sense. But I think that me getting to sit at home and freak the fuck out and have only my mind to deal with is a blessing, because I could be 50 years old and I could have been doing the same shit, you know? I could be 60 years old and it could all implode. So I needed it to happen when it happened. So it's great. It's great that it happened. I mean, pandemic sucks, but I'm lucky that I went through crazy shit in it. Since we are not getting our student loans paid as Biden promised, I tried paying $1,000 before the interest starts again next month and got a citation to appear in court. What? Oh, see, prodigal. I'm glad you're happy now. You were drinking a lot? I actually didn't notice that. Yeah, you can look back at some of those streams. I was drinking too much. And I was drinking heavily, like every stream for a while. I mean, even up and before my back, I switched to wine, but there's no reason for me to be drinking wine bottles every day or every 2 days. There's no reason. I don't even want to drink. I like wine, but I don't think I got a pimple now. My body's so clean. I'm going through the same things. I've become an alcoholic. My best friend, grandpa, died, and I just lost control of my life. Yeah. So now you're drinking. But you know that you're feeling hurt, and you know that you're drinking because you're feeling hurt. So you have to give yourself a pat on the back for recognizing it. That's the biggest thing you can do. So the fact that you know that you're drinking too much, and the fact that you know that the pain of your grandpa passing has been something that's caused that out of control and that drinking in you, then you can deal with that. And that's already so amazing. So you can literally start dealing with that. And I think that grief is such a hard thing. I mean, I'm dealing with grief with God Dog. You know, I went out in my yard the other night and I screamed. I laid flat down on my back and I spotted the grass where he laid, and I screamed and I kicked and I screamed. So grief is so hard. But you know, I think with grief, I think you need to read a book or get a therapist, because I've never had grief. I've never gone through grief, and I can't do it. So I need the help for sure. So I think everybody probably needs help with grief, because I don't know. I've never experienced it. It's a crazy experience. It's a crazy experience. And you feel everything at different times. And sometimes you don't feel anything, which is super weird. Like, I'll have days where I'm like, I just look at God Dog's picture and I'm happy. And then I'll have days where I look over at Pork and I'm mad at Pork because he wasn't there when God Dog got eaten and he could have helped keep the coyotes on him. And I don't want to touch Pork, right? And then I'm mad at myself because I wasn't there. And then I have other times where I'm so blessed and I look at Pork and I'm like, thank you for getting me through this. And then I have other times where I just go outside and I belt and I cry for him. Like the world is ending. I want to die for the love I have for him. So I can't, grief is super hard. That's all I can say. It's really hard. Oh, anytime, Colan. Also forums. If you can't afford a therapist, forums are really great. My Discord is really good about conversation, so I definitely recommend getting my Discord. We're all positive. We all build each other up. But getting into a forum, if you don't have the means to afford a therapist, getting into grief forums, you know, even going to meetings, I'm pretty sure there are probably free meetings in your town will help.